Okay, so for this video, we are going to be talking about how we can insert and delete rows and columns. There's a few different ways to do this, and by now we should be able to see that some ways in Excel are a little bit more efficient than other ways. But I want to show you all the options so you get a little bit more familiar with the Excel interface, and you might prefer one way over the other. Alright, well, to start off, let's say we want to insert some rows between these two groups of data. So right here in row 10. The first option is to click where you want to insert the row, come up to the Home tab, go to the Cells group, and we can't just click this Insert command because this is inserting cells, not a row. But let me go ahead and show you what Insert Cells does. So if I click this Insert command, we could tell that it inserted cell right below row 10. So it didn't insert a whole row. It just inserted one cell and shift the rest of these cells down. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z as in 0 to undo. And once again, we're going to make sure we have a cell in row 10 selected. Come back up to the Home tab, to the Cells group, and we're going to click this drop down for the Insert command. Now we can see that there is a Insert Sheet Rows command. And if we click that, it will enter a whole row. And if we want to delete a row, we can just come up to the Cells group again and click our drop down and select Delete Sheet Rows. And in this case, we will be deleting row 10 because we have a cell selected in row 10. So if we click Delete Sheet Rows, it deletes that row and shifts all the rows underneath it back up. Now another option we can do is come over here and move your cursor to the rows. And you'll see that your cursor will turn into a black arrow pointing to the right. This is how we select a whole row. So if we give row 10 a click, we can see that it selected the whole row. And then we can go to the Home tab, back to the Cells group, and instead of selecting the drop down, we can just click Insert because we have the whole row selected. Now we've entered a new row. And if we click it again, another row is entered. Same thing for deleting. We don't have to click the drop down to delete the row. Now that we have the whole row selected, we can just click delete and we can delete one more time. Another quick way to insert and delete rows and columns is using keyboard shortcuts. So right now we have row 10 selected. If we press Ctrl+ on our keyboard or Command+ if you're on Mac, we can insert rows this way. And if you don't have a full keyboard, meaning that you don't have a number pad on the right side of your keyboard, your plus sign may be at the top where the plus and equal sign share the same key. So in that case, you would have to press Ctrl+Shift+ or Command+Shift+ if you're on Mac. And to delete a row using a keyboard shortcut is to make sure you have the row selected that you want to delete and press Ctrl- or Command- if you're on Mac. And that will delete a row. And if you want to get really quick with using Excel shortcuts, there's one more way. For example, let's say we're working in this cell over here, M10, and we want to add a row. Well, we know that we can just come over here to the row number and select it and then use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+ to insert a row. To take the time away moving your cursor all the way to the row number, what we could do is select a cell in a row that we want to add or delete and use the keyboard shortcut Shift Spacebar to select the row and then Ctrl+ to add a row. Same thing goes for columns. Let's say we want to insert a column between row E and F. So once again, we need to move our cursor to the column heading where we want to insert a column, and then we can come up here and click Insert, or once again use your keyboard shortcuts. It's the same ones as a row, so I'm going to press Ctrl+ and it'll insert a column, or Ctrl- to delete a column. And if you notice throughout that whole process, all of our formulas are getting updated as well. So all of our cell references are moving as we insert rows, delete rows, or insert columns and deleting columns. So get some practice in, learn those shortcut keys because it will save you some time. I'm going to go ahead and delete this column, so I'm going to select a column, Ctrl-, and if you want to delete multiple rows or columns, you can select multiple rows, and you can go up to the Home tab in the Cells group and press delete, or use your shortcut keys, Control minus to delete multiple rows at once.